Hey everyone, it's Jenny.
And it's Hillary.
Let's see, today is Monday, May 25th, 2020. And we're just checking in again. We're going to keep checking in with y'all.
Yeah, we are. How's everyone doing? You guys okay out there?
You surviving, whether you're still locked down or set free, whether it's preemptive or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep us posted. We always want to know.
Exactly.
So I have a few little funny stories. Okay. Well, wait, we should talk about what we're drinking. The business first.
Business is so important. What do you have this evening?
I'm still drinking my Old Camp Peach Pecan whiskey.
I really want to find, next time I'm at a liquor store, I'm going to look for that.
It's really good.
Old Camp is the brand?
Old Camp.
Oh, I see it. I've never seen that logo. I'm going to look for it.
I don't know that I have either. And I don't know that I've seen it in a full size. I've only seen these little bottles.
Which is probably fine.
Yeah.
I'm drinking, again, I had this a few weeks ago, the Lucky Irishman, which is 1 part Baileys and 1 part whiskey. And the whiskey is Jameson cold brew.
Yeah.
And it's nice and sweet. I've had the kind of day where I just want to eat sweets and chocolate all day long. So I'm considering this my nightcap.
Good for you.
Sweet.
I had a mojito earlier tonight.
Oh, nice, with your neighbors?
Yeah, with my neighbor. She makes mojitos. And they're really good. I'm not a fan of leaves in my beverages. But this is like the best mojito. Like, she makes amazing mojitos.
Oh, man. I think there's nothing like fresh mint in a mojito.
Yeah. I mean, the flavor is great. I just don't like the leaves.
If it gets a little chunky or something.
Yeah. She's really good at making those. They're amazing.
Yeah. Hey, before we get into stories, let's tell everyone that we've updated our website.
We have.
So excited about it because before, if you went to thegardentarts.com, the homepage was all of our podcast episodes, but it was fed to there through our RSS feed, through our host. And I couldn't add anything to the show notes or anything. And I felt like we were missing some content for y'all there. So we've updated it. So a lot of those episodes now have show notes with links to stuff we talk about and pictures we reference. And I think it's going to create a better experience if you listeners are looking for a little more content for each episode. I'm excited about it.
Definitely check it out. It looks amazing.
Yeah. And we'll continue. I feel like I've got some more ideas for it, but I'm waiting for the inspiration of what those ideas are going to look like. It's all conceptual right now.
Yeah. Just let it happen organically.
But like, for instance, if you listen to last Saturday, the part 4 of Bono's birthday eps with the fashion stuff, if you go to that page on our website, you can see the pictures we're talking about. Simple stuff like that.
And you really have to see the pictures.
It really helps, I presume.
I mean, we know what we're talking about, but...
Exactly. Makes more sense to see them.
Definitely.
So go check that out. And while you're there, sign up for our newsletter so we can be in contact with you about upcoming content. If you are already subscribed to our newsletter, you already know what the next Bono ep is about.
Ooh.
But if you don't subscribe, you're going to have to wait till Saturday.
I'm going to listen to that up tomorrow.
Yeah, I listened to the final. I just finished editing it last night, so I listened to it this morning, and it was tons of fun. Talk about memory lane. Oh my gosh.
I can't wait to hear it. On that note, tomorrow in Hillary and Jenny U2 history, we went to a show in Nashville in 2018 and a show in DC in 1997.
Yeah,
same date.
Pretty exciting.
Very. Those were both great experiences.
Such great experiences. I think we need to look at May 26 shows more often.
Yeah, we definitely should.
Or at least around this week.
The Nashville show was great, but we also had like adventures on that trip that were just hysterical.
Hysterical. It's
I mean,
where
we
Whiskey
did...
and Cake were born.
Right, exactly.
Whiskey and Cake was born in Nashville. Well, not in general, but Whiskey and Cake for us.
Yes.
In our lives together to have with Bono.
Yeah. That's where the seed was planted in our brains.
Exactly. We had some fun surprises at that show too. That was fun.
We did. That was a great show.
It's
Great
also, I don't know the exact date, but it's around our 1-year anniversary of us starting our podcast. May 28th.
Really? So
Yeah.
Thursday will be our 1-year anniversary.
May 28th, 2019, we released It's a Boy. It's our first baby. About you two's first baby.
Yeah. It feels like a million years ago.
I know, and at the same time, like how we've already been doing this for a year. It's amazing. Yeah. So much fun.
We were such rookies back then too. We didn't know what we were doing.
Oh my God, not a clue in the world.
No.
I mean, now we have half a clue.
Right? And a year from now, we'll look back and say, man, we sucked back then.
So thank you all for listening during our awkward years.
Yes.
Our awkward year. Does that mean after Thursday on Friday we'll stop being awkward?
We'll just be at a different level of awkward. God, a year.
Do you have any fun stories you can tell me?
Yeah, I have a couple. On Friday, I had to go actually into a grocery store to get a prescription. And on my way home, well, that was traumatizing enough because it was also hot as hell and my air isn't working in my car. And I had a really long day. And then I went into a grocery store wearing a mask that made me like feel like I couldn't breathe. And then I was like panic sweating and I was already hot as hell. And it was just emotional disaster. But I got everything I needed. But on the way home, and I was a little shaken. And on the way home, we have this new little like trail that goes along part of the road on my way home, and I saw what looked like a deer from like a distance. It looked like a deer on the trail, and I'm like, well, it's not unusual to see deer in that area, but it's really unusual to see deer like on a bridge over a path, like it was really weird. And then I'm like, oh my God, there's a man with the deer. I'm like, is that guy walking a deer? What the hell is going on? And I pulled, like, the closer I got, I realized it was a dog. But I don't know what kind of breed it was. It wasn't a breed I have seen.
But it was huge, huh?
It was really big, but it was really slender.
Interesting.
So I don't know what kind of dog it was, but it was, it wasn't like full-size deer. It was more like adolescent size, I guess. A medium-sized
the
deer.
mama deer that tried to scare the shit out of me last week.
And then when I drove by, I kind of had a laugh because I also thought about when we were coming.
The horse on the highway?
Yes. I'm sure we've told this before, but I'm telling it again. We were on the way home. We were on the way from Detroit to Toledo, where Garden Tart Amanda's parents live, and on the road, like at 2 a.m. or something, is someone riding a horse along the highway, and we didn't say anything. I don't know. I was thinking, well, maybe this is what happens in Toledo. I've never been here before.
I thought maybe there's a trailhead nearby or a horse farm. I'm like, I don't know.
It was the craziest thing. Anyway, we're going to keep telling that story because it was totally nuts. And we, to this day, just laugh and laugh and laugh about it. Because Amanda says if she had $1 for every time she's seen a horse on the highway in Toledo, she'd have $1.
We were also silent about it.
Yeah, it was just like you were driving and you just kept driving for a while, and then finally Amanda was like, no, I've never seen that before. Like, oh, we all saw the same thing.
And then her mom didn't believe us.
No. I thought it was like my delirium from, sometimes you get that from
the post-concert exhaustion.
Yeah, you're so tired. And
oh my gosh.
I'm sure I've seen things that weren't exactly the way that they were, but this was for real, exactly like I just said it.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like on a side street, it was along a major highway.
Yeah, like on the burn, like the shoulder.
Crazy.
It was crazy. Speaking of dogs and animals, it was just the other night. You and me and Amanda were chatting online, and my dog was
Last night.
Last night, my dog was going batshit crazy in the backyard, and he's not a barker. And when he does bark, it's more because he's playing, not because anything else. So he's in the backyard, like ferocious, and I couldn't see him because he was behind the garage. So I was like, I gotta check this out. I went back and he's barking in a corner in a fence, and it's a chain link fence that you can see through. I'm like, buddy, there's nothing back there. And the house next to us is vacant, so it's not like they have a dog or something. It's not like it was a squirrel. But I look back and it's all dark and whatever, and I heard this. I can't even do it.
Last night you did it pretty well.
I'm like, that is a wild animal. And I think a coyote lives back behind their garage. So I was like, come on, buddy. We're going to go inside.
Oh, no.
So we did.
I was driving home one night from the restaurant I go to all the time, and I took the back roads, and like from a distance it looked like there was a dog in the road, and then like I got closer and I'm like, that's not a dog. I don't know what that is though. I'm like, is it like a giant fox? Like, I don't know what this animal is. The next day I told my mom, and I'm like, I saw this animal last night. I don't know what it was. And she just was like listing animals that it could be. And I'm like, yeah, I guess it could have been a coyote, but they're not really known for this part of the world. And a couple days later, on our neighborhood like Facebook page, somebody posted a thing saying, did anyone else see coyotes this weekend? And I'm like, oh my God, I saw a coyote. But now I've seen like many of them. There were two in my neighbor's yard one night, scared the crap out of me. Because they have the reflective eyes like cats.
Right. Well, and it's not like we live in the country.
Right.
We live in well-populated neighborhoods.
Right.
But yeah, we have coyotes too. We do have some foxes. You don't see them that often. But it was pretty funny that when that song, What Does a Fox Say, was really popular, there was one night I was just sitting downstairs watching TV, and I heard this noise outside. It scared the fucking crap out of me. And it was a fox in the neighbor's front yard. I'm like, I'm so glad I know what a fox says.
Right.
Well, because of that song, everyone looks up what a fox actually sounds like.
Right. Well, this is years and years ago, but I was jogging and I used my Nike Plus app. I think I had the thing. It was back when I had the thing in my shoe.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was jogging and I was at the end of my street and I saw a fox. And I don't know that I'd ever seen like a fox in the wild before.
Yeah.
I think I'd seen one at a zoo, but not in the wild. And it just looked so scary. I mean, it was little, but it looked at me with this like really scary face with like fangs, and I was just showed me his teeth, and
he's like, get away from me.
Yeah, I ran so fast home. When I looked at my Nike Plus app, it was like red. Like most of the time it was like, light green, whatever. This was like bright red, not even orange, just red. Oh, I ran that fast to get away from
fox.
Fox.
Isn't gonna hurt you.
No, but I know the fox's face just looked crazy scary to me. Yeah. Also, for some reason I was thinking that they shouldn't be out during the day. Like, are they nocturnal?
I think they are, but I have learned that a mother that is feeding cubs will be out during the day looking for food.
Well, that makes sense.
Especially if she had babies nearby, she would be
snarling. Yeah.
More
But
snarling. Yeah.
I mean, I was just concerned that it had
Either that or
rabies.
she was rabid. Yeah.
Yeah. Which we don't. I can't even remember the last time we had a rabid animal anywhere around here.
Yeah.
But it scared the crap out of me.
I believe it.
Like, but I could see it. Like, it wasn't just like I was scared. Like, you could literally see how fast I ran home.
I believe it.
I did that a couple times with the. This was the best thing ever when I used to jog all the time, but I did that zombie run.
Oh yeah.
It was so much fun, but it has like a setting that's like, do you want hordes following you or not? And I didn't know this was an option. When there was a horde following me, I would, even though I knew it was in my ear, and this is a made up
I was gonna
story.
say it's like on your app, right?
It's on the app, but it's like, it sounds like they're like breathing on you and stuff, like they're right behind you. And I really didn't like it. And then I saw a thing that said you could turn off the horde, and I'm like, okay, now this is better.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that app let me down though, big time, because it's supposed to be like a couch to
5K.
And it moved too fast. It went from like, jog for a minute and then walk for however long to like the next day to like jog for 15 or more than it just was a huge amount of time, and I couldn't do it, and then I stopped using it.
I have one of the original C2 5Ks that I got. So it was like when I first started running, like 9-10 years ago. I just re-downloaded it the other day, and my husband and I started it again. And it's nice because like the first maybe a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks feels like easy and doable. You're like, right. Oh, I can do this. And then like week 3 is like, no more bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's still like, but it's just enough that you're like pushing your comfort level without dying.
Right. No, this was like barely jogging to dying.
That's not helpful.
Yeah, and I stopped using it at that point. I had another app, but I don't remember what it was.
You're really counting on those zombies to get you going.
Yeah. It was really fun. Like, you had to virtually collect things. Like, you had to go to certain areas to get supplies for your fort or whatever.
That's a cool idea.
It was really, really cool. I seriously enjoyed it, but it just went way too fast for me.
Yeah.
I used to love that. I need to get back into that again one day. Because just waking up in the morning and jogging, and then I come home and go back to sleep for like 45 minutes and then take a shower and go to work. That was just the best. It's
a great way to start the day, and especially when the summer heat sets in, there's no other time to run other than the morning.
Right.
Unless you want to run in the dark, and that sucks. Hey, should we hear from one of our listeners?
Let's do it.
So this is our friend Lorraine, who lives here in the Cleveland area where I live, but
You actually know her in person, in real life. I actually
know her in person in real life. We were just Marco Poloing, but she's from Limerick. So let's check in.
Hi, Jenny, Hilary, and Amanda. This is Lorraine in Cleveland, originally from Ireland. I had a chance to listen to some of your podcasts today, and I loved them. You ladies are so much fun to listen to. I was thinking of you too over the weekend because I was listening to an old album of my parents. The band was Bagatelle, and they're an Irish rock band that were really big in the 70s and 80s, and they would have influenced you too in their early days. I've seen U2 only twice, once in Ireland. Our friends gave us a present to go see them, a wedding present, so we got to go see them in Croke Park, which was fabulous. And the other time was here in Cleveland, so that was really nice to go see them then. So looking forward to listening to more of your podcasts and sharing some virtual Manhattans with you ladies. Okay, bye-bye. Slán.
thanks, Lorraine. Thanks for being
Lorraine.
a local fan.
Thank you.
If you want to leave a message, go to our website, thegardentarts.com, and go to the contact page, and you'll find a link to do that. Because we want to hear from you, too. And you, too. Hey, you, too.
You,
if y'all go to the Garden Tarts contact page,
right,
you can also leave us a message.
You, too, and them, too.
And them, too.
Yeah.
Those four.
Yeah.
Did you have another story to tell?
Well, this isn't my story to tell, but I'm telling it.
Okay.
So, somebody I know was telling this story about how she pretty much hadn't shaved her legs in quarantine and then decided to do that last week and shaved her legs and then was getting out of the shower and freaked out because she thought there was a spider on her leg, but it wasn't. It was just a clump of leg hair that came out of her razor.
So she told me that story too, and like 2 days later I was just in the bathroom brushing my hair and in front of the sink, and as I put the brush down, I started to leave, and I saw something move out of the corner of my eye. And it was a clump of hair from my brush on the sink. And it made me laugh.
I have a coworker that posted a thing on our inner office messaging saying she needed human hair. I'm like, what? I don't know what she was doing, but it was something nature-wise. I think maybe she was
doing it to keep deer out of her garden.
I don't know, but at the same time she started composting, so I was thinking maybe that had something to do with something.
It's possible if she needed ground for her compost, but people do put it in their gardens to keep deer out of their garden.
My hair is long and thick, and when I brush it, I could make another human head out of the hair that's on my brush.
Hey, so there's a small, tiny amount of U2-ish news, and that's did you see that Island Records did this charity auction? It's called the One Love COVID Relief Auction, and it supported the NHS charities and Feeding America. But there were a whole bunch of celebrities donated things to be auctioned off to raise funds. And the band donated a signed version of the Joshua Tree. I think it was the box set. They all signed it. But Bono donated some handwritten lyrics, so I still haven't found what I'm looking for. And at the bottom was the cool Claudia. And I've noticed his new thing now is he signs Mayday, Mayday 2020. 2020 like eyesight with a dash in it.
Oh, okay.
So, but it raised 76,000 pounds.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. So, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I wonder how they got the
lyrics are beautiful.
They are. There is a spelling error. There's a grammatical error in one of them.
There is, yes.
We're not going to talk about that because
I'll let y'all go find it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's just human. We all do that.
This is true.
I don't. If I'm writing something, I definitely don't make that mistake. Sometimes, I mean, if I'm typing, then correct or something will get me. But yeah. So I wonder if like the box set is. I guess it's probably all pre-signed. I bet they have like a closet of that stuff that's just like all pre-signed, because how would they have gotten that from all four of them?
I wouldn't be surprised if they have a small collection of things for just this kind of or special giveaways or the auction kind of stuff. So that makes sense if either the Island office or if the U2 would be the U2 office. Has it, which is interesting because, you know, when I worked at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the band came in, we had guitars for them to sign. And they first were like, no, like we don't all sign something because people usually sell it for a whole lot of money. Right. And then we explained to them that it was for an auction to raise money for our nonprofit. They were like, oh, as long as it's a really specific use. Right. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah. If they do have a closet like that, I would like to see what else is in there.
Yeah, I don't need this stuff. I would just love
Just look at it.
just look at it, see what else is in there.
I mean, I'd
If I'm
like
gonna
some
have
of the
something
stuff, but
signed,
I'd like to get it signed myself.
I would like, yeah, or them to be like, "Oh, Jenny, we love you. We want to give you this present."
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just acquire it. I felt like there was something else. Oh, those U2 fan letters. We talked about it on the last check-in that at U2 Tour on Twitter is doing in reply to Bono's fan letters. They've gotten over 100 fan letters.
I still never did one.
They might be, I don't know if they're done collecting them. They might be. Go to Twitter, switch hashtag fan letters to U2. You can see them. It's not random fan letters. They have to be song specific, just like Bono's 60 songs. He didn't just write fan letters to David Bowie. He wrote them specifically about songs.
I just couldn't decide what song I wanted to use. I couldn't come up with one that I felt like saved my life. I mean, there are plenty of them that I couldn't narrow it down.
I figured it hits you in the moment or it doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's just fine of course it's fine if it doesn't, you know? I went back, do I pick the first song I heard? Do I pick my favorite song? I'm like, I don't have stories about either. Well, the first song, of course, saved my life because it brought me into this universe. But I don't know, there's the song I picked, Love is Bigger Than Anything in Its Way, and that whole album just changed my world.
Yeah. Because
of where I currently am in my life. But it just came to me quickly. And if that hadn't have happened, I don't know what I would have written and if I would have been satisfied with it. So
the only thing I could think of, and I wasn't really just strongly behind this, but the first thing I thought of was maybe Walk On. And it wasn't that it saved my life, but it just became something to hold on to after 9/11.
Yeah.
But I don't know that more than it affected my life.
Right.
So I don't know. That's why I've been struggling with this.
Well, maybe someday it'll come to you and we can get it to him separately.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to think about that. So I have a little interesting thing about Island Records, actually, that I wouldn't have even thought about mentioning, except that you just talked about Island Records. So every Saturday night, I watch this live Facebook auction for vinyl.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's like my favorite thing to do. It's a community of people that are regularly the same people. And I go to the live chat with my brother, and we're texting each other while we're watching each other bid on things and kind of going back and forth with stuff. Anyway, the beginning of every auction, they start with a raffle where you can buy a raffle ticket. And sometimes the raffle tickets are $1. I think that they were, one week, they were $5 because it was this amazing, giant Smashing Pumpkins box set. That went up to $5. This one was $4. But they can't say raffle on Facebook.
Right.
So they call it a
many
waffle.
Funny things. A waffle.
They call it a waffle. And anyway, so I got 2 tickets this week. They were $4 each. And on my invoice with the albums that I bought, it says waffle. Waffle. It literally says waffle, not raffle. But apparently there's something in the Facebook rules and regulations that say you can't do an online raffle. So they call it a waffle.
Right. There's a lot, because I do giveaways for my job that we promote through Facebook. And you have to be really specific that you can't host the giveaway on Facebook. You can link to it.
Right.
And you still have to say that it's not sponsored by Facebook. There's lots of things. I guess they've had some legal trouble or something with that, because there's some workarounds you have to do.
They flat out do a raffle. They just call it waffle.
Right.
But
so that's the way around it. Yeah.
It's so funny. And first I thought it was typo or something, and then I actually heard them say the waffle. This week's waffle was a beautiful, I think it's like a 7-album vinyl set of Bob Marley, The Island Years.
Wow.
And I want that so bad, but I feel like I'm also throwing my money away if, I buy too many tickets. So
Right.
I just got two, and if I win, I win, and if I don't, I don't. But I really, really want this one.
It only takes one ticket to win.
If you guys, are free on a Saturday night, you should check them out. It's a record store called Back to the Media. They're out of Winchester, Virginia. It doesn't matter where you live, they'll ship anywhere in the US, but they're not quite there with shipping internationally yet. They weren't shipping anything at all. This auction has just come up since their store's been closed down for COVID. They're going to keep doing it after everything reopens because they must make an absolute fortune.
Yeah.
On this stuff. They had I'm trying to remember what album. I think it was some sort of Tool album that was like a picture disc and a hologram, or I don't even know what it was. I mean, I'm not that into Tool that I would have, but that thing went up to almost $200 this week. That's the most I've ever seen anything. And this week they had a lot of original Beatles Japanese album. That's original really pressing.
Cool. Hey, I have an idea. Yeah. Why don't we link to their Facebook page and our show notes on our new website?
Let's do that.
Do that.
Oh, that's really cool. And I'll tell them that we're doing that too. They're just the nicest. They're the nicest people, and you can just tell that they do this. They have this business because they're just that into music.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I wish I had a record store. I think I would be good at that.
We would, and we could if we lived together in the same town.
Obviously, it would be called the Garden Tarts.
Garden Tarts.
Vinyl and vinyl.
Vinyl and vinyl.
Yeah. I got and I didn't go get it today either. I got I just ordered like a suitcase record player that has Union Jack on it, made by Victrola.
Nice.
And I was gonna go over and get it today, and then I had a headache, and I'm just gonna go tomorrow. I'm very excited to set that up and have music in my little
especially with all your new vinyl coming.
Yeah, and I've been getting the vinyl for 2 months, almost 2 months now, and there's only been 1 week that I didn't get anything at all. Wow. And I haven't opened even one of the boxes. They're like stacked up at my parents' house because what am I going to do with it?
Yeah, right? Like, why bring them over to the apartment if you can't listen to them?
No. Well, now I have this little suitcase record player, and I'm bringing it over tomorrow. But this week I got the Traveling Wilburys.
Oh, yeah.
Vinyl, and I got Madonna Like a Virgin vinyl.
Perfect.
Yeah, I thought those were, and when I got Traveling Wilburys, that was a little more expensive than what I usually, not much more, but it was a little more expensive than what I usually bid.
Yeah.
And anyway, I wasn't going to get anything else, but this Madonna popped up and it was $15. So I'm like, fine. But then when I was using my phone and I spelled it wrong, and then everyone in the world laughed at me. I spelled Madonna wrong. I think there was a J in it or something. I don't even know. I just had my fingers on the wrong buttons. Yeah. But they're like, you know what you're talking about, so you have it. But then I could not, I will not hear the end of that. Like, they were laughing at me in the video, and people were commenting. I spelled,
That is hilarious.
Anyway. You have to move so fast. If you see a typo, you have to keep going, because otherwise someone's going to get it ahead of you. But I highly recommend it. They are on usually from 6 p.m. Eastern time to 10 p.m. And they take a 15-minute break.
Time, yeah.
It's hard to sit there and watch. I do it every week. I watch the entire thing, but I didn't last week because I knew what the waffle was and I knew I didn't want it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the beginning because like the beginning's always about the waffle. Anyway, so but this week I didn't know what the waffle was and I wanted. Yeah, I was excited that it was something I wanted. But it's fun to watch it, and it's like, I mean, if you really know your music, it's not for, I wouldn't say that it's for just the casual music fan. You've got to know what you're talking about to know what is something worth getting. And so, but it's just fun to watch. Like, what's gonna happen next? I don't know. What's the next album gonna be? Oh my god, I can't wait.
I love it. And
then sometimes I'll see like a corner of an album or something when they take it out of the box, and then I'm like, I'm on it.
I know it.
I'm like, I want this, so I'm gonna pre-type it. Yeah, it's just
that'd be fun. A fun game there.
So much fun. And that my brother Jeremy and I watch it together, and that we've been bidding so long that people like know us.
Yeah. I see that you always share it when you're on it, and I guess the other day I clicked and turned in a second. I was like, oh, the audio's on. I turned on the audio, and the first thing it says, Jeremy Frank, that's yours.
There was a huge Jeremy caused
the CCR, yeah.
Yeah, a total shit show because he has his. Maybe we can put a link to Jeremy's comedy troupe too.
Oh, at a church night, yeah.
Church night. He had a live church night thing, and so he was in the auction. And then when he had to go do his live thing, he left the auction, but he bid on, or he claimed, it's like a buy it now. He claimed a CCR album.
Yeah.
And he left the room. And it just went nuts because they didn't see that he wrote it. And then I said, I think Jeremy claimed that album. And then they thought, in that time, I got the Traveling Wilburys. So then they thought Jeremy claimed oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
It went on forever. And everybody, like, the comments were crazy. Like, no, Jeremy. And I'm like, Jeremy, when you come back, you need to apologize because
right.
And I mean, if he had been there, it would have been over in a second because he could have just said,
like, no, that was me. Yeah.
Yeah. But I said it, and then they got confused whether I was claiming the Traveling Wilburys or Jeremy. Oh God, it was just nuts. But it was funny, and people look out for each other.
That's awesome. I love it.
If someone really seems to like want something really bad and then they don't get it. I mean, I've never done this because I don't get that many albums, but I mean, there are people that spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars every week in that auction. And a lot of times if they're there every week and there's someone that is in there and that's sad that they didn't get something, they'll just say, just give it to him, just we'll try again next week or whatever. But
that's really nice.
It is really nice. It's a nice community of total strangers that I will never meet ever. Yeah.
Well, we hope y'all are doing well.
Yes, please keep us posted.
Yeah, reach out to us and
stay safe.
Wear your masks, y'all. Please wear your masks.
Drive safely.
Yes, buckle your seatbelts.
Tip your wait staff.
And delivery personnel. And listen to the Garden Tarts.
We have tons of episodes. If you don't have anything else to do this.
So many episodes. Okay. And go check out our website and leave us a message.
Happy anniversary, Jenny.
Oh, happy anniversary to you. We'll have to toast for real on the 28th.
I don't have anything else going on, so.
I mean, even if it's just via text.
Yeah.
We'll do that
definitely.
For sure. And come back Saturday, everyone, for Bono's final birthday app.
It's a good one.
It's a fun one. We have a guest who helps keep us grounded throughout this the storytelling.
I think he was supposed to keep us grounded in real time too back then, but we were out of control. There was no grounding us.
No. Well, I think maybe He was obviously hoodwinked.
He was definitely hoodwinked. He had no idea. And I think he did sound sad about it when he realized what the deal was.
Wait, what? Oh goodness. Well, you have to tune in to find out. It's a pretty fun. I can't
wait to listen to it. I'm gonna listen on my way to work tomorrow.
You'll get a kick out of it.
Okay. We'll talk to you next week.
Yep, sounds good. Bye. Hey there, listeners. If you're a U2 fan, you are more than likely aware of the work that Bono has done and continues to do in Africa. It's amazing work, and the exciting thing is you can get involved too. There are 2 simple ways. 1. Go to one.org and sign up to fight against extreme poverty. 2. Visit red.org to shop. What? Shopping helps? It sure does. By purchasing Red branded products, you are contributing to the Global Fund, which supports HIV/AIDS grants in many African countries. As your man says, where you live should not decide whether you live or whether you die. So head on over to one.org and red.org to join the Garden Tarts in doing our part to end AIDS. May your music be loud and your whiskey be strong. Until next time, cheers. Also, we love hearing from people and chatting with people, and of course, we love talking U2. So you can drop us a line on Instagram or Twitter at _Garden Tarts, or you can even email us at wearethegardentarts@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you soon. If you enjoy this podcast, we would love it if you would share it with your other U2-loving friends, as well as leave a review for us on whatever platform you use to listen to podcasts. We would really, really love that.